And I was wondering, how do you think the character's different in this episode?
Much more mature. I mean, I think, and as they should be. I mean, they're a year older. It's what's great about the series, I think, is that they don't stay the same. I think it's what separates it from other series. So they've reached a very sort of interesting age. They are on the sort of the precipice of adulthood. They know what's at stake, and I think so. They also realize the responsibility of leaving childhood and taking a look towards adulthood.
Also, was there anything you wrote in the script that they had to take out that you would like to keep in?
Well, there's always. I mean, I think it's no secret we took some memories out, and in the first script, I had every memory but one, and we sort of took some of the memories away because we wanted to stay a little bit more in the moment. David Yates, that was very important to David Yates that we stay in the moment, and I think it was the right decision, but it was hard.
Yeah, can you talk about what David brings to this?
One, he's one of the nicest men on the planet, which is great. I mean, because when you're working 2 years or something on something, it's nice to have that. He's also enormously talented. But I think the thing that separates him from a lot of other directors is he will really do the heavy lifting with the writer. A lot of directors leave it to the writer to do everything. And what he does is he gives me tremendous space to work. But when it comes to a very hard decision, he'll step in and he'll have the courage to make the hard decision. And he did that on this picture in particular.
Oh, so much. I think one of the real gifts of this particular film is that you get to spend more time with the characters, and really get to know them. I think there's a lot of comedy, a lot of emotion, and I think it is probably the most emotional of the films, and I think that's really exciting. Very moving, very funny, some real romance, I think and as well as some really great action. So
was the longevity of the series, it's kind of hard to see how
it's fantastic, and the fan support is just incredible, and supposedly the advanced sales are bigger than last time, and so it's I think that maybe now that the books are finished, that this is a way for some fans to keep Potter fresh and alive. You can never beat the books. The books are fantastic, but the films I hope people will continue to enjoy. Thank you.
When do you think we expect to see technology we've never seen before?
Well, we spend a whole film in the first part away from Hogwarts on the road as Harry, Ron, and Hermione are like refugees on the run from the Death Eaters. That's one thing. Thank you.
And they're still fun to make, right?
They are. I mean, they're tremendously hard work. We all put everything we can into it. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But when you come here and you see, obviously the fans are here and the reaction of everybody, it makes it all worthwhile. Believe me, it's really a great honour to be part of it.
All right, what do you make of all this? Very, very scary, but great. Really confusing, but yeah, no, this is great.
This time around, everybody's been more good.
What, in the movie? Yeah, it's nice to see some characters emerging and Draco coming out and he's got a lot in this movie and lots of seeing how they change and who fancies who. That's quite fun. Yeah.
Can you sing Happy Birthday to J.K. Rowling, please?
J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
Sing it?
Yes, please.
Alright, okay, hang on. Happy birthday to you. Is that right? Is that enough?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Brilliant. Is her birthday today?
No.
Well, it will be one day. Brilliant. Right.
It's like putting the charms on Hermione.
Really, really fun. It's having these great moments where he's trying to get the charms and they're just not working and just looking away, and it's really fun to play those roles. Yeah.
Oh mate, yeah, the next two actually get quite intense and operatic, and we're shooting those at the moment. I've been shooting for 5 weeks. It's been going really, really well.
Done with, and then still planning the next one.
Yeah, it's been a crazy period, and really, I thrive on it. It's been really stimulating. We're doing basically 1.3 movies all at once.
Very different movies from one another.
I think so too, yeah. Half-Blood Prince is a kind of romantic comedy of sorts. Hallows Part 1 is a road movie, and Hallows Part 2 is this huge operatic finale, with biblical proportions, epic battles, and a great resolution between Voldemort and Harry. It's going to be really cool.
Let's talk to Katie.
Hello, Katie.
Deathly Hallows is going to be done in 2 films. Have you thought of giving the each film a name, Part 1 and Part 2?
We'll probably call them Part 1 and Part 2. I think that's where we're settled in the moment. I
And Jo, I think, had different names originally for the books, didn't she? She was going to call them, she was wondering whether or not she should call them the Elder Wand or the Deathly Hallows. But we'll probably call them Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2.
Also, how seriously do you listen to fans' reactions to the film?
We take it very seriously and we care very much about what they think, because ultimately, you know, you can see how many people have turned up here and in London or wherever else the films travel to. But, you know, it's always tricky for us. We're all big fans of the books.
Do you ever change some of the scenes because of the fans' reactions?
It's kind of tricky because often we finish the movie, we come out with a movie and the fans see it. One thing we do is we always have a recruit screening. We always show the movie to a test audience, and often you find fans in there, and that's really helpful. And I got a lovely letter when I was preparing Half-Blood Prince. Fans sent me a letter and they said, "Dear David, these are the 12 things you have to have in Half-Blood Prince." And I went through it and I thought, and we've got about 11 of them in the movie, so I thought that was pretty good.
A little bit about watching the characters grow up and even just the act watching their acting kind of evolve.
I think that's one of the most amazing things about this whole experience is you're witnessing them just develop and change. And certainly for me as a director, it's a real privilege to see that for the audience as well. I think that's what makes this series of films unique. And when they come back to work after being away, you know, they've had more insights into life. They've picked up a few more bruises, like we all do as you grow older, and they bring all that to work. And I can't begin to tell you. I mean, they've really moved on in.
Any other projects outside of Harry Potter?
Well, we finish in April next year, and I'm going to film school in September, so I'm studying for another 3 years at university.
What scene is missing from the Half-Blood Prince that you wish was in it?
Ooh, I think if I got the right book, it's really bad, but you know that moment when they're sort of all playing Quidditch outside the boroughs in the summer, that didn't get put in the movie, so...
Do you think you're going to start your own website like Emma did?
Not really, I haven't really thought about that actually. I guess I could, but I don't know, there's so many websites out there that no, not yet. I think I want to save my website for, I don't know, a couple of years' time when I'm doing some bigger projects.
Also, Tom and Matthew both have their own Twitter accounts. Have you ever thought of making one?
A what?
A Twitter?
Not really, I don't know, I think with all those things on the internet, you can they just take over part of your life. I think I prefer to live here rather than through a phone or on the internet.
Can you tell us about your expanded role in this movie? Were you nervous about taking on that bigger role? Or
yeah, I was nervous. I think it's sort of, there's so much pressure. Everyone's sort of read these books, and they all have their own vision of these, the characters. There was a certain kind of element of pressure, but to be honest, it's sort of outweighed by excitement. I was so looking forward to having much more to do with the film.
Thank you very much. It's funnier. It's a lot funnier. It's darker, a bit more violent as well. I mean, it's everything. It's an evolution of all the films put together, really. It's crazy. I'm not used to it. Still over all the years. I mean, it's fantastic. It's such a warm reception, and I'm so grateful I could be here to appreciate it.
What makes cake the best dessert in the world?
What makes cake the best dessert in the world? You stopped me there. You really have. I'm sorry. I haven't got an answer for you there.
It's almost J.K. Rowling's birthday. Will you please sing happy birthday to her?
Happy birthday, J.K. I'm sorry. I haven't got much time for myself. I'm sorry. J.K. I'm sorry. I haven't got much time for myself. I'm sorry.
I can't. We don't have a lot of time to ask a lot, so we already know a lot about Cherry Bomb and Half-Blood Prince. We wanted to know how you were approached about Wild Party. Was it really meant to you, or how did that?
Yeah, it was a script that was sent to me, and I just really loved the story, and I saw the original as well, because it's based on an old friendship. I did, yeah.
So is it kind of like it, or is it going to be completely different, or can you say?
I would say it's kind of quite similar. I mean, it's too similar. It's a very different kind of feeling, yeah.